Hey guys, what's up? Alright, here we go. It's Sol Heredit, Wave 12 of the Colosseum. And I'm going to try to do a little commentary over this boss fight. This is a pre-recorded boss fight. And I'll try to explain what I'm doing and what I'm thinking as the fight goes on. So, the first thing I like to do before the fight starts, I like to get myself situated, reorganize my inventory, get all my mage gear back down to the bottom so I don't accidentally misclick it. That would be really bad. And that way all my potions can be up at the top. Easy for me to see, easy for me to reach. And these are the invocations I have. Volatility, Blasphemy 3, Quartet, Dynamic Duo, Solar Flare, and Myopia. So we will have little golden balls, and we will have the Fremnik and the final boss exploding, but it's not the end of the world. These are okay inbos. Otherwise, there's my melee setup. I do have Burrow's gloves on. Uh, but here we go. We'll do a quick pre-pot. Be ready, and at this point, I'm mentally preparing myself for the Fremnik. I know I have to kill it right away. I want to pray against it, but I need to be able to shift click through him to dodge that boss's first attack. So now let me pause this really quick and think about it. There's the Fremnik. You can kind of see it. But the boss's first hit will always be either a shield 1 or a spear 1. And if it's a shield 1, you just have to move back 1 tile anywhere. But if it's a spear 1, we need to walk back 1 tile in the middle. So what that means is if I always walk 1 tile back in the middle on his very first hit, it would dodge either a spear 1 or a shield 1. So that's how we will always engage. So let's run it forward a little bit. We'll kill the Fremy. Right? Hit him once, and I shift click through him back 1 like I just said. Now we killed the Fremy, and he just did a spear 1. Which means that this time I'm going to preemptively move my cursor and be ready for either a spear 2 or a shield 1. And that means that if I go back 1 to the side, I would guarantee to dodge either one of his potential attacks. So that's what we'll do. Check this out. We're going to go back 1 to the side. There it is, back 1 to the side, and it was a shield 1. Now, because he did a shield 1, I need to prepare for either a spear 1 or a shield 2. And that means I should be going back to middle. 2 tiles back in the middle. That would automatically defend against both hits. And what we can see here is I accidentally mess up. I go back 1 middle and get lucky with the spear 1. But here we go. Back 1 to the side for a spear 2. Back 1 to the middle for a spear 1. And we just continue on with this pattern. A spear 2. And then I can either go to the side, or to the middle, or to the far outside for a spear 1. And I can see right here that he's actually throwing, he's saying something above his head, which means that he's going to use his little golden pool special attack. But that will not reset his cycle. So while I'm preparing for his spear 1 right now, even after he uses this golden pool special attack, he's still in the spear 1, shield 1 cycle. So here we go. He uses the pools, and he's still in spear 1. So I move back 1 middle. Now here we go, back 1 side. That was a shield, so I'll go back to middle. Now we can see right here he starts glowing. And when he starts glowing, that means he's doing the little Dark Souls special attack prayer flick thing. And what you need to do for this is you need to flick your melee prayer on the right tick, and then turn it off again right away. It has to be a prayer flick. You can't just leave your melee prayer on, or he'll hit you in the future attack. So let's get this timing down, right? Let's check out this timing. Here we go. Flick, flick, flick. And that'll be the timing. So pretty even timing, right? It was kind of like a flick, flick, flick. It's very even timing when he's above 50% health. And we can see he's only at 75% health right here. So that's the timing for the above 50% health. When he's below 50% health, his final hit will be delayed by 1 tick. So let's continue on with the fight. So that'll reset his attack, or his attack cycle. So Spear 1, premeditate a Spear 2. We're still on Spear 2. So we move for a Spear 2, get ready for a Spear 1. Get ready for a Spear 2. Right? Get ready for a Spear 1, but it's the Dark Souls hit, so here we go. Flick, flick, flick. Right? Pretty even timing. That'll reset his cycle. He's back to a Spear 1, Shield 1. So now we prepare for a Shield 2, little slow. Spear 1. So this will be a Spear 2. We're still on Spear 2. There it is. And we prepare for a Spear 1. There it is. And we'll just go back and forth. Now take note real quick, he is below 50% health now. He's below 50%, so when he does his big Dark Souls special attack, we're going to delay that final hit. Let's see what happens. Spear 1. Spear 2. Dark Souls. Flick. Flick. And wait for it. Flick. Right? So that last hit is delayed. And he resets. So there's this Shield 1. Oop, messed that one up a little bit. Shield 1. Spear 1. So we prepare for a Spear 2. Now he says above his head right now, and it's also in the chat box down below. You can kind of see it down below to the left. But he says, I will crush your body. So when he says body, he's talking about your chest plate. You have to hurry up, go to your armor, and click your body. You have to take it off. And if you do it on the last tick, tick perfect, you're guaranteed a max hit on your final hit. So here we go. We take off our body, and here's that max hit. Look at that huge max. And it resets his cycle. So there's a Spear 1, Shield 1. Prep for a Shield 2. It was a Spear 1. Now we're getting ready for Spear 2 because that didn't reset it. Messed it up, but we know he's now in Spear 1. So if you noticed, I was so focused on dodging and hitting him correctly that I let my prayer run out. So at this point, I need to start drinking potions. So what I'm going to do, instead of focusing on attacking him, I'm going to focus on dodging and drinking. So here we go. He just did a Spear 1. Here's the Dark Souls. Flick. Flick. Wait for it. Flick. Right? And I'm going to start drinking. So Spear 1, drink. Shield 1, drink. Right? Spear 1, drink. Spear 2, and now we're back in cycle. We're all topped off. And now we're just trying to finish off the boss. He calls hands. I take off my gloves. It resets his cycle to a Shield 1. So we're ready for a Shield 2. And there it is. He's down. He's down. So notice, sometimes we're preparing for a Shield 2 by running back to mid. But if he does a Spear 1, we'll automatically dodge that as well. It accounts for both possible options that he could throw at us. But the main thing to note throughout the boss fight is we're always preemptively preparing for what his next attack could be. And we want our mouse to be in place so we can preemptively click before he actually does his special attack. Or before he actually does his little cycle attack. If he does a special attack that isn't gold pools, it will reset his attack cycle back to a Spear 1 or a Shield 1. But yeah, other than that, that's the Sol Heredit boss fight. We got another Quiver, and when we get the Quiver, we're able to gamble it in to that Minimus character right out front, and maybe we get the pet. It's just like gambling an Inferno Cape for your chance at a pet. So let's see, do we get it? We'll trade in this Quiver, and no, never lucky, guys, never lucky. But yeah, that's the Sol Heredit boss fight. I hope you learned a little bit from that. I hope you got to see how his attack cycle works, how I preemptively move from like a spear 1 into a spear 2. But if I only move back 1, it accounts for the shield 1 as well. So I can keep on getting back in that pattern. So what I recommend for you guys, if you want to practice the boss fight before you get there, is watch this video over and make it full screen and move your mouse along with mine. Try to preemptively put your mouse where it needs to be and see if you can kind of mimic my movements through the boss fight. It was a fairly clean kill. There were mistakes, so see if you can make the same kind of movement patterns that I did, and maybe even click correctly where I clicked incorrectly. Do that a few times. Do that a handful of times. Rewind it a little bit, try and play it through. Rewind it a little bit, try and play it through. And see if you can have your mouse going where it needs to be, um, in the same kind of pattern that that he's moving in. So that's the boss fight. I hope you learned a little bit. I hope you had fun watching, and I'll see you in the next one. We're going to the Inferno next, boys.